Well, this is quite the comment that likely comes from someone who's never cared for someone with Alzheimer's. But the brain is dying and going backwards. So in my videos, I definitely talk to her clearly, and it's more about tone. I go, "Hey, mom." I act excited and happy, and that makes her smile. It's more about the tone and my inflection than the words because she's not always understanding. Alzheimer's, the brain is slowly dying, and her mentality is reverting back to that of a child. I mean, it really is. She's forgetting how to do basic things. She's struggling with communication. She can't toilet anymore. She can, we're starting to really lose the ability of how to feed ourselves. So, you know, I definitely speak to her in a different way than I speak to my dad, because what'll happen is if I'm carrying on a normal conversation with my dad, she's trying to follow along and she can't really follow along, and she kind of interrupts and asks what's wrong, and she tends to come back to the, how did it turn out, is everything okay? She'll just boil every conversation. We might be discussing dinner in the kitchen, and she'll say, is everything okay, because she doesn't really comprehend. And so you definitely have to talk to someone with Alzheimer's a little bit differently so that they understand and feel safe and feel happy and take the cues from you. The other element of this is that perhaps I feel old people are useless and I'd stick them in nursing homes. And you must be new here because my parents have lived with me for over 10 years and I've taken care of both of them. My mother through lung cancer, kidney cancer, sepsis 3 times, bleeding ulcer, colon surgery, then Alzheimer's. All of those things happened, and my dad and I were the primary caregivers. And in the middle of all that, my dad has had 2 strokes. So definitely life would have been easier putting everybody in a home and me not having to worry about it. But of course, if you're not new here, for 10 years, that's not what we've done, and that's not what we intend to do. So I don't think you really understand, first of all, caring for someone with Alzheimer's or dementia, and also how to actually care for a senior, or what care looks like. I mean, what you're seeing in our everyday life is what care looks like as a caregiver, and our daily challenges, the good and the bad, when we have our moments. But definitely different, and no shade on people that have to put someone in a nursing home, because sometimes that's the option. For us, we had the option to keep my mother here and look after her, and as it became too much for us, we had the means to hire someone to help us with that, and provide that care right here in the home where she's happiest and she's, every need's attended to and she gets the most attention. When we have not only are my father and I here 24/7 with her, but we have a caregiver that, when they're here 8 hours a day, they're spending, 95% of their time focused on my mother, talking to her. What does she need? They're doing some other things to help take care of her, or take care of the house around her, but they're really attending to the needs. So it's a different environment being able to keep them home than they would have in a home. So that's what that looks like.